What's up, everybody? Good morning. This is John Big Dog Wagner coming at you. I've been getting a lot of phone calls, getting a lot of text messages, getting a lot of emails. A lot of people coming at me about this video that went viral, the 60-minute video that went viral. And there have been several other videos that are going viral. And some of the comments that I'm seeing online, some of the things that people are coming at me with, it really makes me sad. It really does. But it also reminds me of the mentality of people and society today. I don't want to say things to put people down. I don't want to talk bad about people. That's not what I'm about. I'm not about promoting negativity. I'm not about, but that's what the world is right now. You see somebody being rewarded or getting honored or whatever for doing something good, that doesn't go viral. But the moment somebody says something negative about somebody, that's what goes viral. And that saying about people will believe a lie before they believe a truth, it can't be more apparent today than, I just responded, I saw a video that said, man, they got videos of dinosaurs walking down Main Street. Does that mean if you look out your window, you're going to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex? Come on, people. You watch movies of people jumping out of airplanes with no parachute, and they land perfect. Not a broken bone in their body. Does that mean you can go jump out of an airplane and survive the same way? But because you saw it on a video, it's the truth. Come on, really? Have we become that? It's sad. It's sad. There used to be a saying, believe half of what you see and some of none of what you hear. People lie all the time, especially today. People will tell you a lie before they tell you the truth. And people will believe a lie before they believe the truth. And I've experienced that personally. I see it every day on YouTube. People will believe a lie before they believe the truth. Especially if the lie is negative. If it's putting somebody down or oh man, I had a dude come at me saying the feds are suing Super Ego. The feds? That's what they do now. They don't investigate. They don't find reason to press charges. They don't look for people to arrest. They don't take people to court for convictions. They sue people now. Seriously? I had a guy just commented today. I saw a video. Really? Have we become that society? Really? You got people that are coming at me talking about, well, they got lawsuits. Google any company that's been in business for more than 5 years. They got lawsuits. At some point, they've had some entitled person who did not do what they were supposed to do and got terminated. And because they were entitled, they filed a lawsuit. You can file a lawsuit against anybody. You can make allegations against anybody for anything. And with the way the entitlement is going right now, you got lawsuits that'll be in court for the next 20 years before they get seen. Because everybody is suing somebody for something. And then you got people that are winning some of these lawsuits that ain't got no business winning, but because they got a good lawyer, or because the company wanted to settle out of court, they won. For example, the coffee lady at McDonald's. She went to McDonald's. She ordered a hot cup of coffee. And then her clumsy ass spilled the coffee on herself. And she sued McDonald's and won. McDonald's gave her what she asked for. She was the dummy that spilled the coffee. So just because somebody wins a lawsuit doesn't mean that they were right. It just means they got a good lawyer. But somebody filing a lawsuit? Seriously? Just because you file a lawsuit don't mean nothing. Before COVID, you had thousands who filed lawsuits against Uber. COVID was back in 2019. We in 2026 right now. Can you still request an Uber? So somebody filing a lawsuit, that don't mean nothing. But because people promote the negativity, oh my God, that company is terrible. That company, they filed a lawsuit. They filed a lawsuit. Wake up, people. Wake up. We need to be smarter than this. We need to stop promoting a negativity. We need to stop pushing an agenda. Because the more you push an agenda, the more you help somebody else out who's feeding you the freaking material to push. There's a lot of big companies out there that don't want owner-operators. They don't want lease purchase operators. They don't want competition. Because the less competition that's out there against them, the more they can charge and the more money they can make. These same companies that want to put drivers on the road at 35 cents a mile put 2 and 3 drivers in one truck. And you helping them. Are we really that? It's sad. It's sad. But that's the society we have become. Somebody sees something wrong, like there's a woman or a man that's beating a child. You know it's wrong. But instead of stopping it or doing something about it, what do? You record it. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. And that's what you see of more than anything else. Somebody can't get something against you. Somebody just mouthing off can't get something about you. They're going to make a video to talk about you. They're going to make a video to make you look bad. And people are going to believe it. And people are going to believe it. And you got people that I tell you all the time, if you listen to what somebody says, they'll tell you what they did wrong. I seen the video on Bonehead Truckers. After I watched that video, I commented on it. I don't get no alerts of Bonehead Truckers no more. The video that I saw, he was talking to an ex-Super Ego driver. And that driver said, yeah, if you call and you request it, they give you this, that, and the other, blah, blah. Like, wait a minute. You called and you requested it. You asked for it. Now you complaining about it? And I wasn't the only one that commented toward that. There was a lot of people commented toward that. But I don't get the alerts from Bonehead Truckers no more. So I don't know if he blocked me. I don't know if he... Honestly, I don't care. His agenda got to the point where all he was doing was pushing negativity. That's all he was doing. He ain't have a positive video on there no more. All he's doing, bad mouth and bad talking, pushing an agenda. But that's what got him more likes. That's what got him more followers. That's what got him more subscribers. Because that's what people want to see. And it's sad. It's sad. So, I've had people sending me these videos that are coming out, and I've been watching them. And I've given my take on them, and I've been told I need to do a video about this. So, here I am, doing a video. Okay? Somebody or somebody's, some group of people has really gone out of their way to make companies like Super Eagle look bad. Really gone out of their way to make companies like Super Eagle look bad. If you go into court and you have a defense lawyer and he's talking to a witness for the prosecution, what is that one goal of that defense lawyer to make that witness invalid? Catch him in a lie. If you catch them in a lie on one thing, everything they say is invalid. They're no longer trustworthy. Me, I'm the kind of person where I actually listen to people. If somebody says, watch this, I actually watch it. And I actually listen to it. And when it comes to things like that, I'm a very detailed person. I grew up that way. I grew up in a very violent atmosphere. And you had to pay attention to every detail if you were going to make it down the street. As a young adult, I went into the military. They ingrained, pay attention to detail, pay attention to detail, pay attention to detail, pay attention to detail. So I pay attention to everything. Some people hate the fact that I do that because I notice everything. So I'm watching these videos and all I can say is fake news. That's actually a term nowadays, fake news. And I'm going to show you why it's fake news. Okay. First off, on that 60-minute video, I'm going to show you my ELD right now. And the reason why I'm going to show you my ELD right now is because they have an ELD on that 60-minute video. And evidently, nobody knows how ELD works anymore. So I've completed my 10. I got a brand new day for my ELD. Okay. If you notice on the side, I've got drive time, 11 hours. I've got shift time, 14 hours. I've got break time, 8 hours. And then I got my cycle time. And my circle, it says sleeper. I've got 0 hours left for my 10-hour break. When I first shut down, it does a 30-minute countdown for the break. Once it gets past that 30 minutes, that number changes to 9 hours and 30 minutes to complete my 10. And once it hits that 10, I've got 0. So this circle shows whatever stage you're in that is active at the time. Now on that video, they show you a reset ELD. The problem with the reset ELD that they show you is it says 11 hours in this circle. You will never get 11 hours in that circle. Why? Because you have this break time right here of 8 hours. All you can drive is 8 hours, and then you have to do a 30-minute rest break. So as long as this number is smaller than this number, this is a number that you will see. This is the number that will count down. So if you drive 1 hour and do a 30-minute break, when you get back on the road, you will see that 8 again, because drive time will be at 10 hours. Now, if you drive 7 hours and you take a 30-minute break, at that point your drive time will be in the circle, because your drive time will be 4 hours, which is less than the 8 hours. But as long as your drive time is greater than the 8 hours, the 8 hours is what you will see in this circle. You will never see 11 hours in that circle. On that video, they do a reset of the ELD, and in that circle, you have 11 hours. Is it real, or is it computer generated? But I saw it on the video. Is it real, or is it computer generated? I saw another video. This lady being all professional, blah, blah, blah. I got years in the trucking industry and I'm trying to bring you the facts and blah, 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 blah. And she's talking about super ego, all professional, blah, blah, blah. And she's showing images of these Russian documents. And she is translating these Russian documents. And before she translates these Russian documents, she tells you that her translation is not correct. She tells you. I'm not perfectly translating these documents, my translation. So, here's an obvious question for you. If you don't speak and read the language, so you can't speak and read it yourself, do you know what it says? Obviously not. So if you have somebody translating it for you and they tell you that they cannot translate it properly, are they telling you what it says? Obviously not. But because she said it and it's negative, it's factual. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I saw another video. They were interviewing a lawyer who was suing the company on behalf of a bunch of disgruntled drivers who didn't make any money. All right. He said he's been representing them. He's been suing the company for 4 years. They still got their lawsuit going. The first question that comes to my mind, if you got a bunch of clients that ain't got no money because they already said they've been getting paid, who's been paying you for the last 4 years? What, you homeless out on the streets with them, but you their lawyer representing them? The next thing is, the person doing the interview asked the lawyer, well, where's their base? Where are they headquartered at? The lawyer says, I believe they're in Illinois. Wait a minute. Hold on. You've been suing them for 4 years and you don't know? You believe? You assume? You think? If I was a lawyer and I've been suing somebody for 4 years, you better believe I'm going to know every detail about that business. Not to mention the fact that he's wrong. They're not headquartered in Illinois. Their main base of operation, whatever, is not in Illinois. Illinois is their first location for their sales office. It's their main location for their sales office. And what you will find in there are the yard managers who are showing people the trucks. What you will find in there is the safety office who's making sure the registration and the paperwork and everything is up to speed on the trucks. And they also verify the drivers to make sure all the information they bringing in is correct so that they can legally drive. And that is all that you will find in that office. So you have been suing them for 4 years. And you don't know where their headquarters is? You believe it's in Illinois? That's like going to Mike Brown Chevrolet and saying, I'm here at the headquarters for Chevrolet. You at a sales office. But this is a video that was made with factual information. Come on, bro. Seriously? Are we really being serious right now? You got people that are out there, they're doing videos talking about Super Ego is scamming. Super Ego is taking money out of the drivers. Super Ego is getting paid more for the jobs than what they paying the drivers. Okay. Let's talk about that. They got documents that are proven. You know, somebody that, oh yeah, they went to Russia, found a disgruntled employee that no longer works for Super Ego. And this Russian has all these classified documents that are company property that just happen to be in his possession, proving whatever. First off, the office ain't in Russia. The people ain't Russian. Oops. Fake news. Fake news. Plus, with all these border shutdowns to American tourists and stuff like that, isn't Russia currently closed? I don't know. But, you know, yeah, they went to Russia and they found the one person that just happened to have all these Come on, bro. If you really believe that stuff and you want to get out there and make yourself look like a fool, okay. But there's an old saying, it's better to be thought a fool than open your mouth and be proven one. But let's get into that. Let's get into the fact that Super Ego is stealing money from the drivers. For those of you who do not know, because you've never worked a day in your life for Super Ego, you've never worked a day in your life for lease purchase. All you've done is work for company, which at company you have forced dispatch. What forced dispatch means, when your fleet manager or your dispatcher or whoever you deal with says, okay, you're done with your load, I'm going to shoot another load to your board for you to go pick up. and then you open up your app and you got a load there, that's forced dispatch. That means you have no choice. You take the load they send you. It's not like that here. There is no forced dispatch. Here, the dispatcher calls the driver. The dispatcher tells the driver, I have a load that's going from point A to point B, or point A to point B, C, and D. This load is paying X amount of dollars. Do you want it? The driver has the option to say yes or no. Or the driver can say, well, that's a good load, but it needs to pay more money. At that point, the dispatcher will go back to the broker and say, I got a driver for it, but he's saying he wants this amount of money, that amount of money is not enough for him to drive the load. And then they start their negotiations to come to a price. Then they call the driver back and they say, okay, the broker said that he's willing to pay this amount of money instead of that amount of money. Do you want the load now? And if the driver says yes, then he is agreed to drive the load for that amount of money. So let's say he agreed to drive the load for $2,500. He will then get a rate con, a dispatch seat, whatever people want to call it. I'm not going to get into a debate about that. That will reflect the $2,500. After he delivers a load and he gets a statement, on his statement will reflect the $2,500. Did he get paid the agreed price? Yes. Now, for some reason, people believe that after the broker agrees to the price and the driver takes the job, the broker calls Super Eagle up and says, hey, I really like you guys. You guys are cool. So I'm going to pay you an extra $5,000 for this job. Really, people? Are we being serious right now? But for kicks and giggles, let's say they did. Let's say Super Eagle made an extra $5,000 on a job that you agreed to drive for $2,500. So what? So what? You agreed to drive the load for $2,500. Did you get paid your $2,500? Where's the theft? Where's the taking advantage of? The problem is that you have people who are not only entitled, but are stupid. I will say that again. You have people that are not only entitled, but are stupid. And these people have no business running a business. You guys have heard me talk about this load 100 times if you heard me talk about it once. There's a load that goes from Georgia to Tacoma, Washington. It is a 2,800 mile load, might as well say 3,000 miles, that pays $4,000. If you work at Super Eagle and you're watching this video, go to Georgia and look it up on your load board. Now, people take this load every week. I had a personal acquaintance that actually fought to get this load. I told him, no, it's a crappy load. His dispatcher told him, no, I don't want you to take that load. And he crying, saying, they just want to get that load to one of their friends. They just want to get it. I'm like, dude, it's a shitty load. You ain't going to make no money. But he been driving for 14 years, so he knows better than everybody else, and that's a good load that he wanted to load. The dispatcher got tired of fighting with him, so the dispatcher gave him the load. So he took this 2,800 mile load, might as well call it 3,000 miles, for $4,000, 45,000 pounds. And this was when the gas prices, excuse me, before I get, he ain't a real trucker. The diesel prices were right around $500 for a 3/4 tank for 150 gallons. So what he should have done, $4,000, the company gets 25%. So my take is $3,000. 800 miles to a 3/4 tank. 8 goes into 3,000. 3 times is 2,400. 2,400 miles will not get me there, so I got to fill it up 4 times. 4 times at that fuel price back then, that diesel price, for those of you wisecracks, was $500 for a 3/4 tank. So he's looking at $2,000 in fuel. You take away $2,000 for the fuel from the $3,000 that's left, you have $1,000. That run was a 5-day run. That's his week. Out of that week, he's got to make his truck payment. He's got to make his trailer payment. He's got to make his insurance payments. He's got to pay for his other services like ELD, paperwork, etc. He's broke. He fought for that load. I know firsthand. He fought for that load. End of the week, he got a statement. His statement, he got paid $7. What was the first thing I heard? Oh man, Super Ego messed me up, man. They scammed me. They took my money. How you not gonna make any money on a $4,000 load? Really, bro? I told you. I showed you. I let it be known there was no money in that load. No, man, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Well, evidently it does. You didn't make no money. So now he's another one suing the company. Super Ego scammed me. They took my money. Whose fault is it that he did not break down the load? Whose fault is it that he did not pay attention to it when somebody broke it down for him? Whose fault is it that he took that load for no money? But yet he's entitled. And he cannot be responsible for his decision. If he did, he would have said, John, yeah, you were right, man. There was no money in that load. I shouldn't have took that load. I need to start breaking down my loads better and take responsibility, be accountable. Learn from your mistake so you don't keep making the same mistake again. Nah, man, I'm gonna get a lawyer. I'm assuming they took my money. And that same mentality is that same mentality that's filing these lawsuits. That same mentality is that same mentality that's saying that, they stealing my money, I ain't get what I'm supposed to get. But yet you got thousands of other drivers who work for the company that are making their money. Why is it all those people can make their money, but yet you've got this group that's banging on trash cans and tambourines and making as much noise as they can? Super Ego is scamming me. They getting more money for the load than what they telling me. Really? The bottom line is this. If somebody calls you with a load and they're saying the load is paying X amount of dollars and you don't think that's enough money, you turn the load down. Period. You can try to negotiate with them. You can try to get the dollar amount up. You can try to, but the bottom line is if you don't think that you're going to get enough money for the load, you turn it down. If you go to apply for a job, a regular 9 to 5, and they say we're going to pay you $5 an hour, what do? You turn it down. If they offer you a job to drive and it's paying $1 a mile and you know that's not enough money, you turn it down. If you accept the load, that is nobody's fault but your own. Ain't nobody stealing from you. Ain't nobody taking advantage of you. You getting paid what you agreed to drive the load for. Now, in the money that you take in for that week, you're going to have to cover your fuel first. They're going to take that out of your statement. Actually, I'm lying. You got to cover your truck payment, your trailer payment, your insurance, and all that stuff first. They're going to take that out of your settlement. Then you got to pay for your fuel. They're going to take that out of your settlement. And if you don't have enough, it's going to stop right there, and your settlement is going to show a negative dollar amount. If you still have money left and you've had repairs on your vehicle, things like that, they're going to take that money out. And then whatever you have left, that's what you make. Based on the contracts that you signed when you went there and applied for your vehicle. Where's the theft? If you didn't get enough money on the jobs that you drove to cover that, I'm a man. I know what I'm doing. I took this job, took this job, took this job. I drove all week. I should have a gross of like $5,000. What? I didn't make no money. What the hell? They stole from me. Before you got your settlement, you was mad at $5,000. Come on, people. I know common sense ain't common no more, but no sense? Really? Has social media washed away all common sense? All rationalizing? and made everybody just entitled robots, and because you saw it on a video or because you heard it, then that's a fact, that's the truth? Seriously? Another thing is, I'm tired of people coming at me about logs. Everybody, I know they got logs. They got logs. Every trucking company that has a logs department manipulates their logs. That's probably the only thing that I've seen true in these videos that I've been seeing. It's not just this company, all the companies are doing it. So complaining about logs is like complaining about putting fuel in your truck. Diesel for those, Oh, this company's messed up. They put diesel in their trucks. They put diesel in their trucks. Every company out there puts diesel in their trucks. Every company out there that has a logs department does something with their logs. Every single one. That is the purpose of a logs department. They don't do fleet management. They got a fleet manager, dispatcher for that. They don't do payroll. They got a payroll department for that. They don't do administration. They got an admin office for that. The logs department does just that, logs. So if you're driving and you overdo your drive time and you get a violation, they manipulate your log to get rid of that violation. If you're trying to get somewhere and you run out of time, they manipulate your log to make sure you got enough time to get where you got to go. Every company that has a logs department manipulates their logs. And some companies don't have a logs department, so they hire an outside company to manipulate their logs. That's what a logs department does. So coming at me about, oh, the logs. Are you fucking kidding me? You sound like my kids when they were 5 years old. Daddy, McDonald's. But unlike some companies, because some companies, all they care about is that delivery. And if you're short, they will force you to drive. If you're short, they will put more time on your clock. And if you're short, they will call you every 5 minutes to find out why you're not driving as fast as that vehicle will go, or why you stopped and took a piss at the truck stop. This company doesn't do that. You don't drive for them, you drive for you. And if you are late to your delivery, hey, yo, bro, dispatcher, I'm here, I'm at my delivery, but I missed my delivery because it was yesterday. All right, I'll contact the broker and see if he can get you another appointment. I'll let you know when I get one. How do I know? Because it's happened to me. I'm on my way to a delivery. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I get a blowout. My delivery's the next day. It took hours to get somebody out there to do my tire. And it was an Amazon delivery. It was by appointment. And by the time I got there, I missed my appointment. My dispatcher said, see if they'll still take you in. I told them they ain't gonna take me in. Amazon is by appointment only. Well, try anyway, see what they say. I got there. Nah, bro. Your shipment was canceled. You missed the appointment. You got to contact the broker. Contact the broker, get another appointment number, and go back to deliver it at that time. Because with Amazon, you can't go early. You got a 30-minute window. If your appointment's at 10 a.m., You got between 9:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. to deliver that load. If you come before, they're going to tell you, come back. If you go after, you've been canceled. Call your broker. It is on you. And if you're worried that you're not going to get there on time, and you want to get there on time, you have to make a request. Ain't nobody going to call you and say, hey, yo, you're going to be late. You ain't got enough hours. You're going to have to do a 10. So what we going to do is, no, it don't work that way. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I'll tell anybody that comes to my face and tell me different, they a liar. They a liar. The one thing that dude said correct on that interview with Bonehead Truckers is you have to call and request. But if you call and request, they will give you. And everybody in them comments, wait a minute, you asking for it and you complaining about it? And if you don't want to make the request, you get there when you get there. You miss it, you get another appointment. Bottom line. If you drive a company and you miss your appointment, what do you do? Besides getting cussed out by your company, they got to get you another appointment. Bottom line. So just because you see it on a video, just because you see it on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, that don't make it factual. Just because somebody files a lawsuit, that don't mean they have a case. It just means that somebody's upset. They panties in a bunch and they making allegations. That's all that means. That's all that means. And that's what's wrong with this society today. You hear in the news, oh, so-and-so spit in so-and-so's face. All of a sudden, that was terrible. He's a terrible person, blah, 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 blah. Ain't been no convictions. Allegations, allegedly, has yet to be proven. We used to be a society who knew that. But then we used to be a society who educated ourselves. We used to be a society where people minded their own business. We used to be a society where people helped each other out. Now, come on, people. We got to do better. We got to do a lot better. And we have to stop being so stupid and so easily influenced that just because somebody says something or just because somebody makes a video that we jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, we're going to be the cheerleader now. We used to be a society that before we started jumping on bandwagons, we took the time to find out for ourselves. And hearsay was not considered fact. Come on, people. We got to do better. We got to do better. Anyway, that's it for that. I hope that clears up some things for some people. Y'all coming at me with the stupid stuff, just stop. Just stop. You're not hurting my feelings. You're not making me look bad. I just go back to the old saying, like I said, it's better to be thought a fool than open your mouth and proven one. When you come to me with these stupid ass, well, excuse my language, with these stupid comments, what I saw in the video, he said, you a fool. You a fool. Because without taking time to find out, you promoting what they said. And I know for a fact they lying. How do I know for a fact they lying? Because I'm doing it. Two people you can't lie to. Yourself. You can try to convince yourself of a lie, but you know what the truth is. And the person who was involved. Because they know the truth. I'm involved. I'm here. I'm making my money. You can't lie to me about what's going on. So making these stupid comments trying to convince me? You insulted my intelligence. But before you insulted my intelligence, you insulting your own because you telling me that you believed it. We got to do better, people. We got to do better. Anyway, that's all I got to say on this. I hope I've cleared some things up for some people. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe out there.